One of the things I am most excited to see in Captain America New World Order is its villains, because from what we've heard about this movie, there is going to be so many villains included in this film. We already know we have Tim Blake Nelson returning as Samuel Stearns. He's going to finally become the leader. We have Harrison Ford in here as a recast version of General Thunderbolt Ross, who apparently is going to become the president of the United States. He is supposedly going to transform into the Red Hulk in this movie. Plus, we have also Val in there, possibly the Thunderbolts, or at least some of those members. Who knows what other villains along those lines are going to be showing up here, especially since we know that it's kind of going to be an all-out war to get adamantium, which is something I talked about in a video a couple weeks ago. But today we have a rumor about another brand new villain, or villains, that will apparently be a part of that film, and that is the Serpent Society. So we have Can We Get Some Toast is a scooper that we've talked about a little bit here, who just posts scoops on Twitter, and has recently seemingly teased the involvement of the Serpent Society in Captain America New World Order, which of course is really interesting because if you go back to Marvel Studios history, we actually almost got the Serpent Society in a previous Captain America movie, because originally, before we got Captain America Civil War, when Marvel Studios first, I believe it was at San Diego Comic-Con, I don't remember what year it was, but when they first announced Captain America 3 with Chris Evans, the third Steve Rogers Captain America movie, it was announced as Captain America Serpent Society. And then later on, it was changed to be Civil War. Now, you can argue the fact that, like, oh, it was supposed to be Civil War the whole time, but the Russo brothers have since then revealed that the only reason they changed it to Civil War is just because they saw DC was doing Batman v Superman, so they're like, oh, you know what? That's a good idea, let's copy that. So then they did, and it was way more successful, and was actually a good movie. So Serpent Society, we know, is a group that has been on the minds of Kevin Feige and the other people at Marvel Studios for a while now, for years, almost a decade at this point. So it makes sense that they would be involved here in this next Captain America movie with Sam Wilson, especially since the nature of the plot of this film just kind of lends itself to having so many villains involved here. I'm really not even sure which one is going to be the main villain, but to have other ones involved in smaller components, I think is really interesting. And this also pairs really nicely with some other rumors we've been hearing about supposedly Jessica Chastain be wanting to play a villain in this movie as well. Supposedly she's been in talks to play a villain in this movie, and that villain, we're assuming here, would be Viper, aka Madam Hydra, the leader of the Serpent Society, which will be pretty cool. Jessica Chastain, I think she's a great actress. And Viper, having her inclusion here, of course, again, bringing in some ties to Hydra, I think will be a really interesting conclusion. And, you know, a lot of these other characters that we're going to be seeing here, we have the Hulk characters with Leader and Red Hulk, plus we have Val, and we have like all these different government people. So then having also the involvement of Hydra and the kind of Nazi dark government characters, as well as the Serpent Society, literally snake people, is I think going to be really, really cool. So it's definitely something that makes a lot of sense. You may be thinking that possibly this film could be getting a bit overstuffed here at this point, but I think it sounds really cool, and I'm actually really even more excited for this than I already was before. So anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about these new rumors that supposedly the Serpent Society will be involved in Captain America New World Order? So thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.